I'm Jacqueline Shepherd and I'm at the Marriott Hotel Mayfair for the ACLT Gift of Life Celebrity Black and White Fundraising Ball.
You've got to get behind the ACLT. It's important that the community actually raise the levels of blood donors so we can actually find the right matches for people who really need it.
Tonight's event marks 10 years since the passing of ACLT spearhead Dael De-Gale, and we will see some of the UK's finest celebrities come together to both remember Daniel and of course to fundraise and raise awareness. They'll be joining me right here on the red carpet, so stay tuned. Femi, it's lovely to see you this evening, looking very dapper.
Thank you.
Tell me, why was it important for you to come out tonight to support the ACLT?
I think the ACLT, the work that they've been doing within the community, I think they've just been beacons of raising awareness. For me, to be a part of the ACLT in any way that I could be is important to me now, because I think it's very much part of the fabric of our culture.
Oren and Beverly are amongst the most devoted parents that I've ever met, and the difference they've made to the situation as regards donors and research for stem cells for African Caribbean people is groundbreaking, and it needs to be celebrated and noted amongst our community, but nationally and probably globally.
Well, there's something about the ACLT which is just of universal significance. Doesn't matter what your opinion is or what your personal leanings are. It is just ultimately important that we get together and contribute to the donor effort, blood donation, and also signing up to bone marrow transfers and whatever we can put forward for those in need. Yeah. This is universal.
Jasmine, it's lovely to see you. You're the first person that I've seen in white so far. Everyone's gone for the black option.
Oh no, I don't like wearing black. I think, it's still kind of summer even though it's raining outside. I like the white option.
Well, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me, when was the first time that you heard about ACLT and of course Dael De-Gale?
It must have been at least 20 years ago when I first heard of the ACLT, Beverly, Oren and Daniel. I knew Daniel for many years. We came to all the first ACLT balls. They were incredible, brilliant memories, lots of people supporting and raising money for a good cause. But also Daniel, bless him, was such a articulate, intelligent, warm young man that just really championed the cause and was just so brave and courageous with it. So, over 20 years ago I've been coming to all of the ACLT balls and they do a lot of great work.
I think it's important for me to actually support such a worthwhile charity. In June I was actually with the Kick It For Life campaign, whenever both Beverly and Oren have an event, I'm always there to try and support them.
The statistics are still so low for people from BAME backgrounds on the donor register for blood, stem cell and organ donation. What would your message be to people at home to get behind the ACLT and help to improve those stats?
For some reason people don't like to go and give blood, etc. And what I would say to you is it might be your child, it might be your mum, it might be your sister, it might be your brother, it might be someone related to a friend, and then you'll go and donate and you'll see if you're a match. And it's really important because the more people on the register, the more chance you have of survival. And so we're hoping to raise some money tonight and have a good time.
There is no greater thing that you can give to another person than the gift of life. So forget the superstitions, forget the excuses, forget being lazy. It's time to stand up and be counted and to give somebody that absolute, utterly perfect gift of life.
Well, I think we all, have a responsibility to spread that news because it really is important, and there is always that stigma because of our backgrounds and where we come from. But I think it's about time that we get rid of that, and the more we talk about it, is the more people will understand that, this is a necessity for us to be able to give blood and give something back to maybe not yourself, but to somebody else.
Yeah. It's a very simple, quick, harmless 2 minutes, so just join, get on the register. We all need to get behind as a community each other, because but for the grace of God go I, right? We have a responsibility to stop complaining and actually take action.
Yeah. It's always been an important charity, particularly to the Afro-Caribbean community because, in terms of bone marrow donors, we're the only ones that could actually fit another donor. It's a Caucasian person can't do it, so it's down to us. So that's why we should always support it. Yeah.
I think people should be contacting Beverly and Oren. They've done an outstanding job. They lost their son 10 years ago to this disease, or as a result of the disease.
Yeah.
And we should be contributing more money so cancer research can find more cures. It's a case of actus reus, action. You need to do that. You should be doing that. Don't wait for a member of your family to be struck down with it, or close friends that you know, when you can do something now.
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda is not going to help us when we get to that stage.
Claudia, Eliza, it's so great to see you. You look fabulous.
Oh, it's really kind of you. Really, really kind of you. I'm really looking forward to tonight. I'm really hoping that we can raise a little bit of money, raise some awareness, get people knowing exactly all the things we need to do to hopefully get more black people just signing up, really.
But it's not only a case of people not aware of the ACLT, it's just people are not aware, period, especially amongst our community, that it is important, to save lives, and especially amongst our community. So it's right across the board.
I remember 10 years ago, I wanted to do something myself. I came, gave blood, had a test, it didn't work. And since that time, I've actually not been involved. Back then, we couldn't do anything about it. You know, our lives were different, times were different, and 10 years on, we can actually do something about it now, which is why we're here.
One of the reasons why I think it's important to support an organisation like this, especially when we don't have the mediums that we had 5-10 years ago to actually push that message across. It's something that needs to be drummed into people, how important it is for us to do things for ourselves. And that's why ACLT has always been one of my favourite charities.
I was resistant, I'm not going to lie, I was resistant at first. It's like when you start hearing things about bone marrow and you're thinking about, because when you've got bone marrow, you're thinking about people digging into your bone and you're thinking, no, but, after a couple of years, I would say that I kind of sat down and thought about it, and I was like, you know what, if we don't help ourselves, then there's no hope for us. Yeah. So, I signed up, I'm on the register, and they've been my number one charity ever since.
What would your message be to people at home to get behind the work that the ACLT are doing?
Well, it's quite simple. Charity is charity, but charity first begins at home, right? So you have to think of the Afro-Caribbean Leukemia Trust. What it's there for? It's for people of colour. Predominantly. So therefore, then get behind it, because if it does start at home, then it's going to affect people who look just like us. Yeah. So therefore, get behind it. Get registered just to get the check, because you never know whose life you could be saving. I've been on the roll for about 10 years now. I haven't got a call up yet, but just get on it anyway.
Yeah. When you're ready. And Michael, final words from you?
Yeah, I would just say, you never know who it can happen to, and you maybe don't take it as seriously until it maybe happens to somebody in your family. So it's all about helping and about getting involved.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Have a lovely evening. So there we have it. Get involved, get in touch. The details are coming up.